Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Apparently coughing already as we go into Charmed Ridge. Charmed Ridge, everybody. This is the last main world of Evening Lake. Almost forgot what homeworld we were in. This one's a little different, but a little bit cool at the same time. Yeah. I kind of like this world. I actually really like the track for this world, too. It's actually one of the ones I have downloaded and saved to my music library. Fun facts. But this level's got a bit going on, but one thing is that it does have that's kind of nice is that you can do the whole world in one shot, which is not something we've seen recently. Very recently, it's been a lot of things where it's like we're doing one little bit at a time. And that's not how I like playing these games. I really like to get everything done on the first time through. So let's try to do just that, shall we? I don't know why that guy didn't have a gem. Never been here before, but whatever. Yeah, so this world, there's a lot of magic stuff going on because as you can see, the primary residents of this world are fairies. And fairies have magic. Not as much as dragons, apparently, according to this recent plot development here. But, well, we'll worry about that later. Because if we go down here, we see a whole bunch of wizards. And the thing that with wizards is that it's very similar to, like, a lot of what happened in Dark Passage in Spyro 1. Or, was it Dark Passage? Yeah, it was Dark Passage, where the wizards, and, I mean, probably a lot, really, of the Dreamweaver's homeworld in Spyro 1, where the wizards would manipulate things. By the way, there's a skill point for getting on top of that rook. However, you have to have it moving to do that. I forgot that you had to have it moving to do that and try to do it later. No, if you're going to get it, you have to do it while it's still actually moving. So if you want to get that skill point, do it before you kill off all of these wizards. And speaking of wizards, we just had moneybags to pay us so that the wizards could do this thing, which is reminiscent more of Alpine Cliffs in Spyro 1, where they raise and lower the, I guess they did do it a little bit in Magic Crafters. A little bit of the wizard enemy manipulation in Magic Crafters. But, well, we'll worry about that later. Actually, we'll worry about that like 4 years ago at this point. Going on like 5. Actually, I think it is 5. I think it's going on like 6. Yeah, been doing this for a while. Been doing this for quite a while, actually. Anyway, you can just jump down there and get that egg if you so desire, or you can do it the long way. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter at all. You're supposed to do this fast, by the way, because apparently these wizards are afraid that or not the wizards. The fairies are afraid that their fairy princess is actually going to go marry one of the cat wizards. Yeah, that's where you learn about that one. Luckily for you, it's a checkpoint every time that happens, because I guess Zoe is on their side. But, well, we'll worry about that later. This wizard actually launches rocks at us. You're supposed to dodge them. I'm bad at that, especially because it's a land of fixed cameras. The camera does really weird things in this level, by the way, because it tries to, like, zoom out and have you focus on certain things, and it actually acts really weirdly. So it makes the game a little bit harder because your camera's not acting the way you're used to it acting. Anyway, watch yourself out for these, because obviously these explode if you run into them. So I'd recommend going through real quick and tackling all the wizards and the other Rhinoc enemies here so that we can get through it a little bit easier. Just get through it, blow them up, and try not to get caught in the blast radius because, well, that'll hurt you too. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of gems hidden here. This world has a lot of gems. A lot of gems, to be fair. And speaking of worlds that have a lot of gems, it also has one of those annoying little chase vase things that I almost forgot about again, by the way. Even though I told myself while I was filming this that I was not going to forget about. But, well, guess who went and forgot about it anyway? This Let's Player. I'm the best. Don't you even deny it. But yes, if you fall off there and you go through here and you're like, oh, she's here and she's going to go... Yeah. This is an unapproved of marriage, so they're going to go elope. And because of that, they're going to go speed off on a motorcycle. The one that's behind them. In case you couldn't see it. It's there. Yay, elopement! Okay. Well, they gave us an egg, and we're nearly at 100, by the way. We have 97. 97 eggs. Anyway, I chickened out on this a couple times, but all you have to do is, just get a good thing and don't let go of the stick, and you will glide over there perfectly fine. There's no secret way to do it or anything. It's just a leap of faith you have to go do. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I chickened out too much, apparently. I got it later. Don't worry. I'll come back for it. Anyway, a couple other things that were done in the main A to B mission here. We've got well, other than the fact that there's still a few gems and wizards floating around here that we have not disposed of yet. If you notice very, very back in the early of the level, you got a little glimpse of something that might seem a little bit familiar. Oh, here you are. Good old friend, the teleporting vase. We'll be back for that when I eventually remember that I forgot about it. What a wonderful sentence there. Anyway, if we glide over to this secret path, or kind of secret path over here, we can make our way over to go see our good old friend Sergeant Bird, who has his own romantic interests in this level, because that's just what this is. This is Charmed Ridge, everybody. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. I ain't judging, dude. Just go do your thing. There's no gems in here, so you don't need to worry about the gems. But this is another secret mission. And by the way, there is another skill point hidden here. And I actually got this one. I didn't forget about it like the rook last time. At least I'm pretty sure that's a skill point, the rook. I haven't actually looked that up, but I'm pretty sure it is. So now we have cat wizards here that are, well, trying to murder us. There's 5 of them here the first time. I'd recommend knocking quite a few of them down like I'm doing right now. Just get like a last one or something. Try not to take damage here, by the way, because you don't get any way to heal you. And as you can tell, I broke one of the windows by accident. And then, yeah, because we only have one left, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go knock out all the windows because, well, that's a skill point. Because why wouldn't it be? Boom. Skill point. And conveniently enough, we got the skill point right as I took a hit. That also might be a strategy, is you might want to save it for if you're about to die. So maybe knock like all but one of the windows out, and then kind of come back and get it. I need to lay off the mic a little bit. I've clipped a couple times. Oops. If you're lucky, you can get a few of them right as they're coming out, but they do have a little bit of spawn protection, so it's not really worth it to stand here and camp. Just back away a little bit, just start firing away. Eventually you'll start hitting them. There's no real reason not to continuously fire, because the missiles will home in a little bit, and they generally won't try to attack you from like the rear, especially if you've like backed yourself against the wall. Well, there is no rear, so just kind of keep it focused, stay steady, and well, eventually they'll come to you. There's not really much of a reason to float around too much. I mean, if you lock eyes, they kind of start flying at you. That's kind of how that works. So as you can tell, we took a hit there. We're now down to blue health, and this is the 3rd phase, because there's actually a 3rd phase. No floor this time. Not that it really matters, because we didn't land on the floor the last couple of times, but there's another 10 cat wizards here. And, well, really pretty much the same verse. They're a little bit tougher, because they actually start shooting magic this time. And that's where it starts to get a little bit tougher. Not really the whole not having a floor thing, because for the most part, I fly the entire time anyway. I mean, it's not like later games where you have to push the X button every time you want him to flap. Luckily, we take care of that automatically here, so you can actually have a little bit of a rest in your thumbs. But as you can tell, we're now down to our next to last hit here. One more hit, we lose sparks. The next hit, and we die. But luckily enough for us, only one wizard left, who manages to get the hit off on me. So now it's completely one-on-one, no hit. Last hit kills. And we almost die there, but we come away with the victory anyway. We get Abby, who is another dragon. Anyway, let's get out of here. As you can tell, the gate is here. There's no gems in there. No real reason to stay in here, so once you got the egg, get out of here. That's it. Back to the level with Spyro. Anyway, we got a couple of things to tackle with Spyro still now. For one, you see all these wizards and things over here. And I did the weird thing and actually managed to glide over there from this side just to take one out, just for shits and giggles, to see if I could. And doing that will stop the blocks from moving. So it's very similar to, especially Alpine Cliffs in Spyro 1. If you've played Spyro 1, this will seem very familiar to you if you think of that. But anyway, let's go over to here in this cave first. As you can see, there's an egg here. So we get a pretty quick another egg here. Benjamin. He's been jamming to whatever's in his egg. I don't know. 99. We're getting pretty close to that 100. Not that there's anything that happens with there. Actually, there is something that happens when you're 100. Though you don't know that yet because, well, if you're following what I'm doing and actually getting 100% early, or not really early, but staying on track for 100% like normal time, well, you don't have that feature unlocked yet, essentially. I'll come back to this in like an episode or two, where it actually becomes a little bit more relevant. So anyway, you can use this fire breath power up here to kill all these wizards here on the weird outstanding platforms, and you don't need it to light the rocket. And I don't even know why you need it in the first place, because you actually could just go over there and flame it with the power up. But whatever the game wants, I guess. And yeah, now that you've killed that guy, the cat, you can't get on the thing anymore. Oops. Oh well. And I mean, you can't, because if you watch, the game will actually teleport you away from the top of it, so you can't get the skill point. Because I tried quite a few times. And there was one time I legitimately would have gotten it, but the wizard was dead, so it didn't count. And I mean, that time I was just bad. I couldn't even get up there. There's another egg here. This is Mo. We got one Mo egg. That one was easy. Okay, I didn't have to struggle for that one at all. Anyway. One more, shall we, as we hit 100? Yeah, I tried. Game kind of teleported me away there. And then there's one here where you can clearly see the game move me out of its path. Look at this. The game teleported me away there. Come on, ripped. Anyway, let's just go get those last few gems over here, and we'll worry about that a little bit later on. Because, well, I think what we're gonna probably do is we're probably gonna move all of the skill points I haven't yet gotten. I think there's only been a few of them. I've gotten most of them, I think, to this point. But I think we're gonna move all the skill points that I haven't yet gotten to a bonus episode after we're done the main game. Because, well, there's already gonna be bonus episodes as it is, because as I mentioned earlier, we're going for 117%. Which, yes, means there's stuff after the final boss. And, well, I figure that probably after we get 117 would probably be a good time to go do that. Anyway, here's where, when I was looking around for health, I was just like, fuck it, if I die, I die. And sure enough, I made it. 2 1-ups for us. So let's get going. Back to this again. Now that we've cleared out most of the enemies here, we can have a pretty easy glide over here. We just need to take out those 2 charging guys. Charging Franks, I guess. And we can move on over here to our second challenge portal of this level. This one is the Jack and the Beanstalk puzzle. For those of you who've played this game before, it's probably pretty familiar. It's a puzzle where you have to sort between 2 types of mushrooms. And, well, solve the puzzle that way. So you get 2 types of mushrooms, as I just mentioned. One of them is a jumping one. As you can tell, it jumps, which gives you a really, really bouncy mushroom as I almost fall off the cliff. And here, one other thing as well, you can't jump on them. This one is just a little step stool. So it doesn't get you very high, it doesn't bounce. You can actually jump on it. So you generally need to use this as like a starting platform or something. So as you can see here, I need to jump from here to the bouncy mushroom, land on the bouncy mushroom, and then glide over there and miss. But if I did it successfully, glide over there and claim our treasure. Now, what do you want to do now that I've got this the wrong way? Because you can't get to the other platform from here? Well, if you want to reset them, just flame them. Easy as that. Then just switch their spots, and you can progress on with the puzzle, the minigame. I actually kind of really like this. I got messed up one time, but I actually remembered for the most part all of how this works. The one thing I did forget, like, is right in this next section here. Other than the fact that I can't jump, and I didn't forget that one, I showcased that pretty well. But if you want to get this up here, what you need to do is you actually need to reverse them at first. It looks like you need the mushroom where I'm putting it, but actually what you need to do first is reverse them like I forgot to do, because there's actually another seed on that platform that you can't see from here. See the seed? If we can see the seed, well, we'll seed. But yeah, so I hopped up there real quick and realized, I was like, oh, I dropped the seed. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad. Oops. Oops. But yeah, so we ultimately wound up, unfortunately, having to deal with the seeds. Now the seeds are a little bit finicky. If you have to get them very precisely like in the center, because they don't really work that well if they're just on the outskirts. And it's kind of really weird that they're like that, but you do really need to get them as close to the center as possible. As you can tell, there's a little bit of weird physics, and the flowers and things will push you out of the way. But yeah, so now that we have this, what we can do is I tried to spit it all the way up there, and it didn't work. Even though I probably could have done it during my glide. Would have been cool if it worked. But it did not. So what we need to do instead is we actually need to murderify these, switch them yet again to the original places I had them, and climb our way up to the top. That gate will be of importance to us, I guess, a little bit later on, but not at the current moment. We'll worry about that then. Not right now. But let's take the seed again. Let's learn how to jump, and let's actually progress the story. And there is one egg here, right up here, that's a checkpoint. It's kind of like you got it in the middle. Because you can ask Jack, and he will reset the puzzle for you if you screw something up. Like, if I don't know, I guess if you spit a seed off the side of the cliff, you can do it that way. You can reset the puzzle, and well, reset the puzzle so you can try again.
You've been doing
I
great so
guess.
far.
But yeah, so he gives us 2 more seeds that are just the 2 bouncy ones this time. So what we need to do here is we get 3 bouncy ones, actually, because there's a 3rd one just sitting here. There's 3 little plots of land. Should be simple. Just need to, you know, plant all 3. See, it didn't go. But yeah, so now we can go claim the seed again. There's no way, unfortunately, to jump up there, at least not that I know of. Especially not if I miss, but I mean, I was going to say without at least something. You can do it with a dandelion. But they don't give you a dandelion. That's a dandelion, right? Or is it a daisy? I don't know anything about flowers. It might be a daisy. I feel like it's a daisy. No, dandelions are like the things that you blow and they like fall apart. Yeah, it's a daisy. There's no unfortunate way to make that, unfortunately. Thank you for the redundant word choice there. But what we can do is we can make it with these mushrooms to go up. Unfortunately, by the way, every mushroom patch has a set height. That how far you can jump. So we've got another 3 patch here. But the problem with this 3 patch here is that this is where you need all 3 mushrooms. How do you do that, you might be asking? How do you do that? Well, it's something that actually really did stump me as a kid for the longest time, because I could not for the life of me actually figure out how you were supposed to do this puzzle. But in my old age, I realized it. Not that I'm that old, at least I don't think. What you have to do is you have to take the other seed here, flame the mushroom, then switch it out with the dandelion, because now you can use the dandelion as a platform. Take the mushroom, go up here, and now you've got 3 mushrooms. Now you can solve it pretty easily. Assuming you're good enough to jump up there, which I apparently am not. Mushrooms are a little bit finicky, by the way. Sometimes you make them, sometimes you don't. It's a little weird, but so is this minigame. And for the most part, this world, if we're being real. Let's be real here for a second. This, you know what, scratch that. This game is weird. This game is really weird. Let's not mince words. Let's not mince words for a second. Let's just mince our seeds. Repeatedly. Can we get the seed in the hole? Good Lord. When am I going to stop saying things that sound like they mean something else? Apparently, never. Apparently not. Apparently I just don't do that. But let's jump here. Let us tackle mushrooms. Come on, mushroom, please. Thank you. Anyway, the golden goose renders in as I fail the jump. Of course, I fail the jump. How much time can I waste on mushrooms? I feel like this is a shot at Nintendo of some kind, and I'm just not sure what it's a shot at Nintendo about. Come on, we can do it. There we go. But we meet up with the golden goose. Jack somehow manages to jump all the way up here, so it's not like he even needed our help in the first place. And he gave us another quote-unquote golden egg from the golden goose, even though it's apparently from a dragon. This is Chuck. Googinga, googinga. Anyway, let's gather the rest of the gems up here and head out. We are at 6 out of 6, which means we're pretty close to finishing. Head bash down there, because there's another head bashy thing here. Smack it. And, well, here's where the cliff where that one gem let us out. Or not gem, seed was. Let's glide all the way down out of here, shall we? I went back and looked for gems real quick, because I was like, we're missing some gems. And then, well, now's about the time that I remembered about that stupid teleporting face. Stupid teleporting face. Here it is. Let's charge into it repeatedly until it bursts open and gives us all of its glorious gem contents. Sounds like a good idea, right? I see you teleporting to the other side of the river, silly fool. Don't try to trick me. And here it is on the side of the castle. It teleports a lot of places, actually. It does, but of course, because these levels are so small, it doesn't go very far. It just takes forever because you have to hit it so many times. Anyway, it's now at the beginning, which is probably like the last point, right? But no, they had to be a jerk one more time and actually make it go teleport out to the opening island. And then you're stuck being like, how do I get over there? And you just glide over there like always. It's not that big of a deal. Come on, game. We can handle this. It's not that bad. Anyway, a bunch more gems are ours, including all of them. All of them. So now we have just actually come up here at the same number of gems as we were when we began with, because Moneybags charged us so much money. Level complete. Oh boy, let's get out of here. Gems. I think that's the same amount of money that Moneybags charged us. Level complete.